Are you ready for action? Then get ready for WXO Wrestling.
The first match in WXO TV history shows Adam Pearce doing the job to Eric Watts. I'm on board. The year 2000 launched a new millennium, new era, and with WCW about to enter a $100 million free fall, WWF getting into a bit of a creative lull. And what was your favorite match from WrestleMania 2000? And Paul Heyman bouncing checks in ECW, there was opportunity for a new wrestling company on the landscape. Every time somebody comes up with a novel idea to turn wrestling back 10 years, it never works, so why would this be any different? WXO started in January 2000. We only got a handful of TV episodes out of this upstart shoot-down promotion, and in the end, we were left with a cliffhanger that was never resolved. As far as what you were told on screen, WXO was owned and operated by Ted DiBiase. With all the major players still in play, the first question that needs to be answered is who could be the top star of WXO? And CEO and CFO Ted DiBiase is going to answer that with our first episode. Well, that couldn't possibly be Dan Severn wearing the same gray sweatshirt that he did for 9 years, right? Honestly, throughout this whole series, the wrestling action is pretty mundane. I'm gonna try to follow the creative direction here. Dan Severn gets revealed to be the big star of the promotion, and the Five Stooges take exception to this. Now, as Al Green and the entourage of idiots decide to come down to the ring and confront Dan the Beast Severn, Barry Horowitz gets into the mix, and a clown fight ensues. Now, as the commentators point out, I probably should have known already that Mike Enos and Barry Darsow were friends, because they're both from Minnesota, right? This is all just a big misunderstanding. That drags out over 3 weeks as they interfere in each other's matchups and cost each other victories. By the way, this is top-tier Mike Enos. We're not talking about a bloated Blake Beverly here. This guy's ready to go. You can tell that Barry Darsow figured in as one of the major players because he's doing the plugs for Priceline, which is one of their primary sponsors. Priceline.com on the internet, while it says 1-800-PRICELINE across the screen. He may have been a major player, but in his first match, he had a count-out loss to Scott Nash. We know what a big star he turned out to be, right? But of course, Darsow returns the favor, and he and Enos both start their WXO careers at 0-1. We never got the one-on-one showdown between these two. So Al Green makes it very clear that he's not impressed with any of the accolades of Dan Severn, and his good friend Barry Darsow lets him know whenever Dan Severn is in earshot. I guess that makes this your top feud. Al Green versus Dan Severn. Why didn't this company get off the ground? Now let's talk real quick about the tag team situation. We've got the Heartbreakers and we've got the Bodies. They have a match on consecutive weeks. But things get kind of funky when Adam Pearce gets involved because he helps the Bodies, but the Bodies don't want his help. But then the next match, he has a match against the Bodies, and he turns on his partner, and at some point there, they accept his help. And then at the end of the last TV show, we have the Bodies and Adam Pearce taking on a tag team that was introduced as fans in the first week, and we get footage from Japan of Johnny Ace and Michael Barton taking on the aptly renamed tag team of Kenta Kobashi and Jun Akiyama in the Tokyo Dome. We get introduced to Dominator Fred Ottman. He's so big he can't get out of his sports car. He comes out to say that nobody can slam him, so we've got a challenge on the table for the biggest guy in WXO. Jennifer Hart is the broadcast colleague of Stan Lane and Chris Cruz. She's blonde, she's pretty, she's very inexperienced. Chris Cruz, not very good at play-by-play commentary, just casually flirts with Miss Hart all the way through the broadcast. Now, because the show didn't make it past the third episode, we get no resolution to any of the seeds that were planted, but the biggest mystery of all is in the closing credits of the final show. What happened to Stan Lane?